TransBot was released in 1986 for the SEGA Master System. It was one of only 14 games to ever get released on the SEGA card format, well, at least in North America. The game was clearly inspired by Transformers and is a very simple spaceship shooter or shmup for you cool kids. You pilot your ship in typical horizontal shooter fashion, destroying absolutely everything in your path. Along the way, you'll notice a small transport vehicle that appears at the bottom of the screen. Destroying it reveals an orb, which then allows you to select between one of 5 unique weapons. The power-up cycles through the letters A through F, and I know what you're thinking, that's 6, not 5, but A being your typical pea shooter. Unlike most shmups of the time, you can actually take a few hits before you die, which is pretty cool. Because before too long, the game's difficulty increases, well, rather insanely high. Depending on which power-up you select, your ship will transform into a mech, granting you some pretty powerful weapons. One form allows you to shoot a funnel laser, another a long vertical beam that can clear out many enemies at once but is a little bit slower. Then there's another weapon that acts like a spread shot from Contra, one that grants your regular ship the ability to shoot more powerful missile-like shots, and finally there's a form that shoots one shot in front of you and one in the back. While in mech form you do move a little bit slower, so it makes dodging incoming bullets that much tougher, so be warned. I should also mention that you don't keep your power-ups for very long. Notice the arm meter on the top right of the screen. As you use your newly acquired power-ups, the meter will deplete. Each power-up depletes the meter at its own rate. Naturally, the most powerful power-ups will only allow you to fire a couple of shots before the meter runs out and you go back to your regular craft. That's literally all there is to say about this game. The game loops for what appears to be an eternity, with only a brief boss battle here and there to sort of spice things up, but in truth, the game does get a bit old rather quickly as there's really nothing else to do. There are only 2 backgrounds that loop, but thankfully the enemies do look nice against these rather dull backgrounds. There's some fairly creative enemy designs here too. It's just a shame more effort didn't go into the backgrounds as it gets really repetitive. Thankfully the soundtrack is rather catchy, but unfortunately some of the blast sounds that come out of your craft really get in the way. The difficulty ramps up just a bit too quickly for my liking, and because of that, it's kind of hard for me to recommend this one. The simple nature of the game, the repetitive enemies and backgrounds, and the extremely simple gameplay make this one a hard recommend over some of the other excellent and vastly more advanced shooters on the Master System. That said, you can purchase the cart version for under $10, and the card version usually goes for around 15 at most. So, if you like what you're seeing and are a little bit curious, it won't break the bank to check this one out.